Okay, great. So, first question I want to get out to you. Tell me how you got into boxing.
So, there's a gym around the corner from myself, it's under ABC. And then there's another gym 5 minutes away, Kirkdale ABC. And my brother boxed for the Rotunda. My uncle boxed for the Kirkdale and the Rotunda. And my cousin boxed for the Kirkdale and the Rotunda. And it was just basically just in the blood, really. So I used to watch my cousin box, and I was playing footy at the same time and boxing. But I thought you can probably, well, you've got more of a chance of making it in boxing than you have in football because it's selfish. If you put the work in yourself, you've got no one to rely on, no one to push you on, no one to pull you back. So I thought boxing, it's just down to yourself. Go for it. So went around the gym, liked it, and enjoyed the environment.
And how old were you when you started?
Got in the gym probably about 12, and it was the summer holidays. Not long after that, so ended up going back the year after. They do like the school year, so I went back the year after and had my first fight when I was like 13.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you turned pro in 2017. How much of an amateur background did you have? And
well,
talk to me about the decision about moving from amateur to pro.
So, me probably had about 48 fights as amateur. Thought I'd done pretty well, standard, but some of the contests I lost more than I won, and the amateurs was like I was going down to club shows and I was boxing all over the place, and I wasn't getting the decision, so I was a bit disheartened. So that was the reason. The egg cards come off. The minute rounds went from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So I thought, what's the difference for pro and amateur? There was nothing. The egg cards are off like the pros. They're doing the same amount of minute rounds as the pros, and you got paid. So I thought, I'll have a go with this. I'll try and maybe I'm suited more to the pros, because I was always told that by family members and people who come to watch, you're suited more to the pros. You're not getting the decisions in the amateurs. Go for it. So it was on my mind from like not getting the decisions to eventually. The long goal was to turn pro. So I didn't want to go and box for England. I wanted to turn pro anyway when I started.
Yeah. And your last fight, you fought in February, 6th round TKO. Is it safe to say that with the pandemic and COVID and all of that couldn't have been more perfectly timed?
So there's a funny story behind that last fight as well. The kid who I was meant to box was meant to be for a title fight, and it would have stepped me right up into the mix. I would have been Central Area champion, and that it progresses you onto like English champion and British champion. And once you get a title, you're in the mix and you're ready to fight anyone. There's no turning back. The kid got sick before I boxed him, and he ended up boxing a lad who beat me twice in the amateurs from Liverpool down in Hull. So it was a real grudge match, and it was one that I always wanted since I turned pro. I wanted this fight, and he wanted this fight.
Oh. Hello.
Has it gone off?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Yeah, hang on. I think so. I think the kids in me blew the fuse. That's the fuse is gone.
Talk about
should
timing.
we get the lights back on, or should we carry on talking? The lights will be on in like 1 second. Like.
Yeah, we'll just carry on talking. Go on, carry on with your story.
Yeah. So the fella who always wanted to fight and like get revenge back over, my opponent who was meant to have pulled out, and this fella stepped in. So it was like, let's go for it. It's on now. It's the fight I've always wanted. So I got that fight, and I think if he had the title fight, I'd never be able to step back down and have this fight. So I put that one to bed. I got my demons. My demons were out, and I put him to bed and literally stopped him, put him to bed, and it was good to get off my chest. So my next fight, what I was meant to have, was probably penciled in straight away. So it's all good for me. I've boxed this year, so I'm happy with that.
So effectively, you've got, as you say, one of your demons out of the way, or and you just don't feel like you're in any worse a position for a title fight, as you mentioned.
No, just trying to stay positive, staying active in the gym. I'm staying fit. I'm eating good. I'm just doing what I can for when the ball comes back and we can have the cards and the fans back in and the fights are back on. I'll be ready. I'll be more than ready. But also, I'm be energized, revitalized. When you box, it's a horrible, selfish sport. You don't see your kids. The kids are with me, and my family are with me every minute, every second of the day. But you're not with them mentally or physically. You're just sitting there. You're just a being. You're just a body. You can't really pick them up. You're tired of training. Your mind's on the fight. You're there, but you're not there. So it was good to spend that time. But it was good to reflect and know what I'm doing it for. So I'm gonna push on this year, get these title fights, push on. Can't wait to get straight back in the mix.
Yeah, great. And I just wanted to touch on it quickly. Your only loss in your pro career is to Nick Ball. Yeah. He's a fellow Scouser, as we know. How do you look back on that fight? And is there, in your opinion, would you like a rematch with him further down the line?
So that's what always comes up. It always comes up. I think he's still a bit of needle in that fight. He's a bit of everyone wants to see that fight again. And I think it'll do Nick good to have the fight with me for himself, and it'll do me good to have the fight. It'll build our profile right back up again, even bigger than they are now. At the time, I was gutted. I was broken. I thought, how do I come back from this? And I thought, like me always, you lose your all when my boxing career is over. But in reality, it only opened more doors for me, made me more hungry, and I'm ready to to just push on, whether it be Nick or whether it be anybody, any of the featherweights.
Yeah.
So,
can I ask as well? I obviously, as you probably know from my page, I cover MMA as well as boxing, trying to do both.
Yeah.
In MMA, we see a lot of people get a loss early in their career. We see, I think there's about 5 or 6 current champions in the UFC who have a loss, maybe the debut or first couple of fights. Do you think it's a benefit or a hindrance to have an early loss in your career? Because I think in boxing, as you say, we have these O's, and it's such a vital thing. What's your opinion on that?
So I think you get carried for 10 fights, you're 10-0, you box no one. Now you can't go back. You're in a real fight. You've never had a real fight. You're 10-0. You believe the hype. People have blew smoke up your ass, and it's on. You're in a fight, and you don't know how to handle it. Where I was in a real fight straight away. I think it was my first year. It wasn't even a year. It was 8 months into my career. I was in a fight, and it's only benefited me, made me stronger mentally and physically, and I've grew up as a man. And I think it's good to just take them fights not too soon. Manage right, manage correctly, but don't leave it too long.
Yeah,
It's boxing's you're in it, aren't you? It's real, so don't be blagging everyone, but most importantly, don't be blagging yourself.
Yeah. And maybe talking about the future, when would you like to get back in the ring?
March time. I'd like to be in March time. Going on holiday after Christmas. only for a week, but I'll still be training. Come back, hopefully, fingers crossed, and I can see it, I can picture it in my mind, that come back, 8-week camp, and straight back into the title fight, what I was meant to have last February, straight away, straight back in. The kid who was meant to box, he hasn't boxed, so he'll be up for it, he'll be game. And where it was I seen this fight, and I seen it in the Olympia with all my family and all my friends, and me holding the belt up and screaming, "Come on, we've done it, we're the champion," and all that. But it was in the Olympia, and when the fight got announced, it was in Hull. So I thought, same outcome, just different place. But now I can see it. It's going to be in the Olympia, and it's all that reality, like all them dreams and all that like manifesting. I'm going to make it reality. So things happen for a reason.
And are we hoping with the March timeline we can get a, maybe not full capacity, but certainly a significant crowd attendance too?
Yeah, well, I think the Olympia holds about 2,000 fans, but you only get about 600, 700 anyway, so that'll be perfect.
Yeah. And can I just ask, correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned fighting at the featherweight division. Are you currently fighting a featherweight or lightweight?
So when you're in on BoxRec, they put you in whatever your opponent's weighed or whatever your last fight is.
Yeah.
So I've never had to make featherweight before, because I've never had a championship fight. Yeah. So I've always weighed in on the day. So I've always weighed in lightweight or just under lightweight, but it's only 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah.
So when it comes to championship fights and title fight limit, I'll be featherweight and I'll be massive. And I don't think no one will be standing with me. No one.
Yeah.
None of the featherweights.
Well, let's maybe talk about the featherweight and lightweight on like the kind of the world stage.
Yeah.
We have a kind of cluster, I would say, of that 5 to 7 pound range of a lot of great fighters. We have Lomachenko, we have recently crowned Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. In your opinion, if we go from featherweight, super featherweight, and lightweight, who, in your opinion, is the best of them 3 weight classes?
If they was all in the same weight, if they was just one weight, I'd say Lomachenko, even though Lopez has just beat him. I'd say Lomachenko is pound for pound, because Lopez wouldn't be able to get down to the featherweight with he. So he's a big lightweight. So I think Lomachenko's the pound for pound out of them 3 weight classes.
Yeah. And what was your opinion on that fight? Were you one of the people who saw a masterclass by Lopez, or were you someone who thought Lomachenko let himself get beat?
No, I think Lopez turned up and he showed what he's been training for, and he was overlooked, weren't he?
Yeah.
So it's boxing. It's a real fight. Once you get it, all these people sitting on the couch saying he should have done this, he should have done that. It's different when you're in there and you're actually getting it with real shots.
Yeah.
And it's their life on the line.
Yeah.
So I think Lomachenko's took a shot and thought we're in a dogfight here. So
yeah. And as you say, you mentioned the size. It's kind of like Lomachenko could probably fight.
Yeah.
I'd say he could maybe even go lower than featherweight, to be honest. Well, he has, hasn't he? Is he not?
Yeah.
He's not fight. I think
he started off at featherweight, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know what he was in the amateurs.
Yeah. Is there a specific fighter that you model yourself on, or someone that growing up in boxing that you try to implement certain things from their style at all?
No, but I take a lot of advice from the top fighters, and Mayweather sticks out to me. And he said when he was a kid, he used to train like, some days he'd come in the gym and he'd train like Sugar Ray Leonard. Some days he felt like he wanted to be like Mike Tyson, and he rolled it all up in a box and put it together, shake it up and put it together. And I think that's a brilliant way to look at it. You've got to be able to do everything, because whoever you're boxing, you could have like my last fight, I was meant to be boxing a flashy kid who was sharp. He could box. He could do a bit of everything, but he was more a slickster. I ended up boxing a kid who was completely the other way around. He'd rush in and he'll try and bully you. So I think you've got to be ready for everything.
Yeah. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so I just think like you have to be able to do everything. There's no way. You've got to tick every box. You've got to be able to box, fight, counter punch, move, stand there, grab, do everything.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning now. I'm still learning. So I've probably boxed for about 15 years, and you're still learning. Every day is new.
Yeah. And my last question I would want to ask, obviously, I don't think we could talk about goals or achievements without mentioning the obvious, titles or becoming a belt holder or a champion of some sort.
Yeah.
But if we take that out of it, is there any specific goals that you have in your career in terms of an opponent you'd like to face, a venue you'd like to fight in, anything of the sort? Is there anything else that isn't, other than becoming champion? What other goals do you have?
No. I just think fight the best. Am I still there?
Yeah, still here.
Fight the best. Duck nobody, and just be remembered of you'll fight anyone really. No shortcuts. The dream will be, when the dream's achieved, it'll feel so much sweeter to myself than just being handed it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, I would say the Echo Arena in your hometown. I've already done that.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. Thanks a lot for coming on today, Liam.
Yeah.
I will just, Brian, don't know where Liam come from. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.